Hope you're feeling magical, but if not, that's okay too. However, we are here to talk about familiars from the Realm of Magic game pack. We'll go through what they do, how to get them, and all of the familiars available. Let's jump into it. Now you may be thinking, oh, these sound useful, and that's where you'd largely be wrong. Familiars are great in the sense that they're visually appealing and they can add to the vibe a wizard gives off, but truth be told, they don't add heaps of gameplay. When summoned, familiars will give the spellcaster that summoned them a confident +1 moodlet, but most notably, familiars can actually save spellcaster sims from death. If you have one active while your sim falls victim, then they'll come to their rescue and ensure that they don't die. Do note that there is a cooldown for this, so don't expect your familiar to constantly come to your sim's aid if they decide to go in for a second death. If you also have the Cats and Dogs expansion pack and your spellcaster sim has a pet such as a cat or a dog set as a familiar, then you'll also be able to send them away to forage, in which case they'll bring back magical items such as potion ingredients. Sign me up, you say, but how do I get one? Well, the easiest way is to head to Caster's Alley within the Magic Realm, located to the east of the entry portal. Here you can buy familiars from the store closest to the portal leading into Caster's Alley. The shop's stock refreshes daily and generally holds 3 different familiars at one time, so if it doesn't have the familiar you want in stock, you can check back the next day. Other ways include taking a look around the main building in the Magic Realm. You can find a few orbs lying around in the basement levels, and you can even check the bookcases within the main building to see if they have any orbs as well. And if your spellcaster sim is feeling powerful enough, then they can also duel other sims for artifacts, which can sometimes deliver familiar orbs as well. Honestly though, the shop in Caster's Alley is by far the easiest way. Once you've got the familiar orb you want, then simply click on it and bind it to make the familiar yours. You can choose its name, and then you can summon it from under the magic options on your sim whenever you like. Note that you can bind multiple familiars to one spellcaster sim, but you can only have one active at a time. Binding a familiar will consume the orb, but if you change your mind about a familiar that you have bound and want to unbind it, then you'll get the orb back. Now let's jump into what familiars there are to choose from, with 11 in total, 4 being common, 4 being uncommon, and 3 rare. Starting with the common familiars, first up we're looking at the sixam owl, which I feel is a relatively neutral familiar that has a pretty widespread appeal. Cute for the child spellcasters, I say. Next up is the bunnerfly, which for some reason I just do not enjoy. Death's giving off evil chimera vibes, but also it's low-key wannabe evil vibes, such as like an evil underling rather than anyone actually scary. The fairy is next, and it's probably the most boring familiar out there as it's literally 2 wings attached to a glowing sphere. This one gives me golden snitch vibes, but not because it's blue. And the last common familiar is the raven. Again, getting those evil vibes. It also looks slightly mutant, which makes it extra evil, as I feel regular ravens are kind of majestic. On to the uncommon familiars, and first up is the glowfrog, which feels to be a rather nature-themed familiar that gives off quirky vibes. I quite like it. It's similar to the next one we'll look at, being the leaf bat. It's very cute, and personally, this is one of my favorites. Again, great for a spellcaster who loves nature and the outdoors. Then we have the hexdoll. It feels a bit chaotic, but I feel this would pair really well with a spellcaster who's a bit mischievous and who also uses a voodoo doll, which I feel is what this familiar is based off of. And finally, there's the dragon, who feels both neutral and powerful and kind of feels like a solid familiar choice for almost any spellcaster. On to the rare familiars, and there are 3. Up first is the phoenix, which is gorgeous and fiery, really as you would expect. Yes, my mind is thinking Dumbledore too, and hence I instinctively feel this is the ultimate familiar for a good-natured wizard or witch. On to the skull, and contrary to the phoenix, I feel this is the most evil of the familiars because, well, it's a skull. And the final familiar is the Velid. Now I feel this one is meant to be evil, but for some reason I just think it's really cute and like the cutest familiar. It tries to be evil, but it's floating on a cloud, so you know, it can't be that evil. Finally, if you have the Sims 4 Cats and Dogs expansion pack, you'll be able to make your pet cat or dog a familiar as well. And when summoned, they'll gain the cute little familiar particle effects. Alas, that's all of the familiars, how to get them and what they do. If you enjoyed or found that helpful, then please subscribe and leave a like. I would really appreciate it, and have an amazing day. See you later.